Going back to our multi-condition if statement, like if we want to test if a few conditions are true, for example, like we saw in a different video, we wanted to test if the player's guess equals the number, and also we wanted to know if the variable alive is true. And in different situations, if you would need to evaluate many conditions like this, well, apparently you'll have to line them all up just like that, one if right after another if, right after another if, etc., to test if all of these conditions are true, and only in the end will you take whatever action you'd like to take if all conditions are true. However, there's a way to make this a little simpler. Instead of lining up so many if statements together, you can actually test multiple conditions inside one single if statement. And this is done with operators that are called logical operators. Here is the logical AND operator. It's 2 times the ampersand symbol, which on my keyboard is Shift and the number 7. Now we can test for both our conditions in one line, and it will have the desired effect. Right now, the evaluation over here doesn't only depend on whether the player guess matches the number, it will also depend on whether alive is true, because we tied both of these conditions together with the logical AND operator. The logical AND operator is a little command which does like this. It takes whatever is on the left and looks at it as a boolean, true or false. And as we saw in previous videos, we do get a true or false results out of this evaluation right over here, because the equals operator will test both of these expressions and will return, it will yield either true or false. So the AND operator will take whatever's on the left and check if it's true or false. If it is true, then he will continue. If it is false, he will right away, without even bothering to continue with whatever's on the right side, it will right away return, it will right away yield the value false. So again, first it tests if we get out of this true or false. If it's true, then we'll test if we get true out of this. If we do, then finally the logical AND operator will return true to the if statement. If this evaluates true but this evaluates false, then the AND operator will return false, because both of the expressions, the one on the left and the one on the right, must be true for him to yield true. So you will use the logical AND operator when you want both expressions to be true, and if any of them is not true, you would like to skip away. That's when you would want to use the AND operator. Here's another logical operator you can use. It is the logical OR operator, which is twice the pipe symbol. On my keyboard, it's the key that's right below backspace and right above the enter key. What this logical OR operator does is it will test for at least one of these two things to be true. So it will start by testing this one, and if it returns true, if we get true out of this, he won't even bother continuing, and he will right away yield true for our if statement. If this is not true, so then it will try again with the other expression on the right side. If that gives us true, then even though this was false, but since one of them was true, so the OR operator will return true. That's what logical OR does. It will return true if either this one or that one is true. So if all you care about is that just one of these two expressions should be true, you would want to use the OR operator. If you want to make sure that both of them are true, then you would like to use the AND operator. So yes, this is all about checking if things are true or not true. Everything over here is like a Boolean variable type, which is either true or false, or either 0, which is false, or any other value, which is true. Which brings us to another logical operator, which is the not operator using the exclamation mark symbol. Not can be put right before any expression if we want to make sure that, meaning if we are trying to test that something is not true. For example, if for some reason you would like to test whether the player's guess is not the number, one way to do that is to test whether they equal and then add the not operator in the beginning. It's a game of yes, yes, not, not, which means that if I say yes, I mean yes. If I say yes, yes, I still mean yes. If I say yes, not, it means I am saying that yes, I would like to say not. So that turns out to be not. And if I say not yes, again, this turns out to be not, if you think about it. And finally, if I say not, not, surprisingly what comes out is I mean yes, because I'm saying no. I don't want to say no. So saying not, not results in yes. Once you got that figured out, you can understand that over here we're testing that if this is trying to figure out whether something is true, adding the not operator in the beginning will reverse the result, whether it's true or not. In this type of situation, this is pretty much like using the not equals operator, which has the same effect. It checks whether these two expressions are not equal, and this is another way of doing it with the not operator. If not these two things equal. So there you have it, 3 very cool logical operators which are very useful to evaluate not only one single expression, but you can line up a whole bunch of expressions to evaluate inside one single if statement. However, this can get pretty complicated when you line up a whole bunch of evaluations and logical operators. We can mix together some relational operators which test if something is more or less, and then we can add a logical AND operator which will try to make sure that what's on the left is true and also what's on the right is true, and we can have in the same expression also the OR operator. And as you see, all of this together could turn out to be a little cryptic because we're not sure what happens first, which can make a very big difference. If this happens first and then we AND that together with what's on the left, and then the OR operator comes into play, things may end up being true. But if it happens in the other direction, then things may end up with a different results. The solution for this is to enclose the little bits of your calculation inside of parentheses. This will make sure that things will be tested against the intended expressions and in the correct order. So you can enclose these little bits of code inside of parentheses, and then if you want to make sure that this happens before that or the opposite, you can add some more parentheses which encloses this section in a parentheses. Whatever is inside parentheses will happen before whatever is not inside parentheses. So if you look closely, what happens first is the deepest set of parentheses over here and over here. Then we do the logical OR operation, which is inside the more shallow layer of parentheses, and finally we do these parentheses over here and finish off with whatever is outside of parentheses altogether, which is the AND operator. So use parentheses to clarify the order and the belonging of expressions with their operators. Chew on that for some time. It gets complicated.